I need you to listen to me for a few minutes. And I ask that you hear me not just as a doctor, but as a man who has sat at the bedside of too many wonderful seniors, listening to them whisper the same heartbreaking words. But doctor, I thought I was eating healthy. What if I told you that the very fruits you have trusted your entire life, the ones that feel safe, refreshing, and God-given, might be the very things that are now, at this stage of your life, quietly working against your heart? I am not here today to scare you. I am here because I feel a sacred duty to protect you. Because after the age of 60, your body changes, your heart becomes more vulnerable, your kidneys work differently, and this means that even a food as innocent as fruit can become a danger if we are not wise. Today we are going to talk about the fruits that may be silently damaging your heart from the inside out. And the first one on this list, you almost certainly have it in your kitchen right now.
Doctor, I think I can speak for everyone watching when I say that your opening words have truly shaken us. It's a frightening thought that something we trust, something that feels so wholesome, could be a source of harm. For those of you just joining us, this is Dr. David Miller, a cardiologist whose work is driven by a deep mission to not just treat heart disease, but to prevent the quiet mistakes that lead to it. Doctor, you have our complete attention. Please, guide us through this. Where do we begin?
We begin with the truth, Sarah, and the truth must be spoken with love and a fierce desire to protect. The first truth is this: your body is a sacred gift, a miraculous creation. But as we journey through the different seasons of life that God has planned for us, this gift requires different kinds of care. The wisdom that served you at 40 is not the same wisdom you need at 70. And the first fruit we must re-examine with this new wisdom is one of the most common, the overripe banana.
A banana. Doctor, that is the one thing most people would say is the definition of a safe, healthy snack. It's what we give to children and the elderly. What is the hidden danger here?
The danger lies in a mineral we've always praised: potassium. Potassium is essential for a healthy heart rhythm. But as our bodies age, our kidneys, the beautiful, God-given filters of our body, can become less efficient at processing and removing excess potassium. When you eat a very ripe banana, which is incredibly dense in potassium, that mineral can build up in your bloodstream to dangerous levels. This is a medical condition called hyperkalemia. I need you to hear me clearly on this. Hyperkalemia doesn't arrive with a thunderclap. It whispers. It might feel like a little fatigue you dismiss. It might feel like your heart is fluttering or skipping a beat. It might feel like a strange weakness in your muscles. It is so easy to say, "Oh, I'm just getting older." But inside your body, a serious problem is brewing. That excess potassium is interfering with the delicate electrical signals that keep your heart beating in a steady, life-sustaining rhythm. Left unchecked, this can lead to dangerous arrhythmias, a severely slowed heart rate, or in the most tragic cases, cardiac arrest.
And this can be triggered by a food we see as completely harmless. That is terrifying.
It is, and that is why I speak with such urgency. I have seen this in my own practice. I'm thinking of a wonderful patient. Let's call her Mrs. Henderson. 72 years old, lives in San Diego, does water aerobics, a pillar of her church community. She starts every single morning with a health smoothie. She believed it was the secret to her vitality, and the first ingredient she put in the blender every day was a soft, sweet, very ripe banana. She had no idea she was starting her day with a dose of potassium that her aging kidneys were struggling to handle.
So Mrs. Henderson, with the best of intentions, was unknowingly putting her heart under this stress every single morning.
With the very best of intentions. And sadly for her and for so many others, the banana wasn't the only problem hiding in that healthy glass. The second fruit we must discuss is grapes.
Grapes seem even more innocent. Just little drops of sweetness.
And that sweetness is precisely the issue. Grapes are loaded with a type of sugar called fructose. Unlike other foods that have a lot of fiber to slow down sugar absorption, grapes release their sugar into your bloodstream very quickly. When you were younger, your liver could handle that fructose rush, but now your metabolism is in a different season. That same fructose is now very quickly converted by your liver into a type of fat called triglycerides. I cannot overstate this danger. Triglycerides are a medically recognized risk factor for heart disease. They are fats that travel through your blood and contribute directly to the hardening and clogging of your arteries. So you're eating a bowl of grapes thinking, this is so much better than cookies. But inside your body, you are manufacturing the very fats that lead to plaque buildup, high blood pressure, and place an enormous burden on your heart. For Mrs. Henderson, her daily smoothie also contained a large handful of grapes. She was getting a double hit of danger, all disguised as a healthy breakfast.
This is completely reframing how we need to think about fruit. It's not just about natural versus processed anymore. It's about understanding how even natural foods affect our bodies differently in this season of life.
It is about wisdom. It is about stewardship of this precious gift of life. It's not about living in fear, but living in loving awareness.
Thank you, Doctor. This information is so critical, and I know it's a lot to take in. For everyone watching, I want to create a space for us to acknowledge this new awareness together. If this information has already opened your eyes to something you didn't know, please let us know in the comments by typing a 1. It's not about judgment. It's about a commitment to learning and protecting ourselves and the people we love. And please, take a moment to subscribe. Our promise to you is to continue bringing this vital, life-saving information to you with the care and respect you deserve. Doctor, what you've just shared about overripe bananas and grapes is truly eye-opening. The idea that a food can be a gift from nature, but that our bodies, in this sacred later season of life, must learn to receive that gift with new wisdom, that is a profound thought. You mentioned that Mrs. Henderson's smoothie contained more than just those 2 fruits. It makes me wonder what other seemingly innocent fruits might be on this list.
It does, Sarah. And this next one is tied to so many happy memories for people. Summer picnics, family gatherings, the bright, refreshing slice of a cold watermelon on a hot day. It feels like one of life's purest, simplest pleasures. But I must urge you with the deepest care, if you are over 60, especially if you have any heart conditions or are taking blood pressure medication, that slice of watermelon is not as harmless as it seems.
Watermelon? But it's almost all water. How can something so hydrating be a danger?
The danger lies in a compound called citrulline. In a young, healthy body, citrulline can be beneficial as it helps to relax and widen the blood vessels. But for an older cardiovascular system, where arteries may already be less flexible, and for anyone on blood pressure medication, this sudden, rapid widening of the blood vessels can be dangerous. It can cause your blood pressure to drop too low, too quickly. This condition is called hypotension. I have had patients who, after a light lunch of watermelon, went for a walk and were suddenly overcome with dizziness, blurred vision, or even fainted. They thought it was just dehydration from the heat. They had no idea it was their heart struggling because their blood pressure had plummeted. And there is a second danger. Watermelon has a high glycemic index. It causes your blood sugar to spike and then crash. This roller coaster puts a tremendous amount of stress on an aging heart, forcing it to work harder to maintain balance. It's like asking a senior to sprint up and down a hill over and over. The heart was not designed for that kind of stress in this season of life.
So the very thing that feels so refreshing could actually be creating a state of chaos inside the body.
That is the perfect way to describe it. Chaos. And your heart is the one left trying to restore order. I know this is difficult information to hear. It goes against everything we've been taught to believe about fruit being universally safe. But I am sharing these hard truths because I believe your life is precious and worth protecting. If you are still with me on this journey, if you are committed to gaining the wisdom needed to steward your health, please let me know by typing a 2 in the comments below. Your presence gives me the strength to continue.
Thank you, Doctor. And thank you to everyone who is with us. You also mentioned exotic fruits. Are they a safer choice since they are less common?
That is a common hope, but unfortunately not always true. This brings me to the fourth fruit, one often called the king of fruits in many parts of the world, durian. It is known for its rich, creamy, and unique flavor. But beneath that luxurious taste lies a danger we must expose. Durian is shockingly high in saturated fat. Gram for gram, it contains nearly as much as some processed meat products.
A fruit with the same kind of fat as meat? That is unbelievable.
It is, and it is a truth that is critical for heart health. As we age, our body's ability to process these heavy fats diminishes. This saturated fat directly raises the levels of LDL, the bad cholesterol in your blood. I want you to picture your arteries, the holy vessels that carry life-giving blood from your heart. Over time, that LDL cholesterol builds up like a hard plaque on the inside of those vessels, making them narrow and stiff. This is a disease called atherosclerosis. It chokes off blood flow and is a primary cause of heart attacks and strokes. People eat durian thinking, it is a fruit, a gift from the earth, it must be good for me. And months or years later, when a cardiac event occurs, no one ever thinks to blame this beloved fruit. But the slow, silent damage was being done with every healthy indulgence.
So the danger isn't always immediate. It can be a slow, cumulative process over time.
The most dangerous processes often are. And this brings me back to our dear Mrs. Henderson and her morning smoothie. The final ingredient she would add for that tropical sweetness was a large portion of ripe mango. And this, Sarah, was the third strike against her heart in that single glass.
Mangoes as well? So many of us love mangoes.
And I understand why. They are delicious, but they are also deceptively high in that same sugar we discussed with grapes, fructose. That fructose goes straight to the aging liver and is converted into those damaging triglycerides. The mango's high glycemic index also contributes to that blood sugar roller coaster we talked about with watermelon. So in one healthy smoothie, Mrs. Henderson was getting a potassium overload from the overripe banana, a triglyceride-producing fructose bomb from the grapes and mango, and a massive blood sugar spike from all three. Her body was in a state of metabolic chaos every single morning, and her heart was paying the price.
What happened to Mrs. Henderson?
When we uncovered this, when we showed her what was truly in her health drink, she was shocked but also relieved to finally have an answer. We took her off that daily smoothie and replaced it with a breakfast that truly served her. Plain Greek yogurt with a sprinkle of nuts and a few low-sugar berries. We honored her body with what it needed. Within weeks, the fluttering in her chest lessened. Her energy stabilized. Her blood work began to improve. Her body, this miraculous creation, was finally given a chance to heal itself once the daily damage was removed.
Doctor, the story of Mrs. Henderson is a lesson that I know will stay with me and with our audience for a long time. It is a powerful reminder of how easily good intentions can lead us astray if we aren't armed with the right knowledge. It seems that everything we thought we knew about fruit needs to be re-examined when it comes to protecting senior heart health. You mentioned smaller fruits. What other dangers should we know about?
Yes, and this danger comes from fruits that are so small and easy to eat, we often lose count. I am speaking of liqueur and longan. They are fragrant, sweet, and often seen as a light, guilt-free dessert. But for an aging body, their impact is anything but light. These fruits deliver a very rapid, aggressive surge of glucose into the bloodstream. For a body whose ability to manage blood sugar has changed with time, this is a significant shock. But there is a second, more subtle danger. In traditional medicine, These are known as heating fruits. From a modern medical perspective, we understand this to mean they stimulate the sympathetic nervous system, your body's fight or flight response. This can raise your heart rate, make you feel anxious, and disrupt peaceful sleep. For a heart that is seeking calm and stability, this constant stimulation is an unnecessary burden, a quiet stressor that works against the peaceful rhythm it needs.
And I imagine this leads us to the final and perhaps most widespread danger on the list. Something that is a staple in households across the country.
It is, Sarah, and this may be the most critical warning for everyone to hear. The seventh danger is not a solid fruit at all. It is fruit juice. That morning glass of orange or apple juice that has been a ritual for decades. I am begging you to understand this truth. That daily habit may be one of the most damaging things you can do for your heart. When you strip the God-given fiber from a fruit, you are left with a glass of concentrated sugar. A single glass of orange juice can have as much sugar as a can of soda. The link between this kind of high sugar intake and poor cardiovascular outcomes is one of the most well-documented realities in medicine, and avoiding it is a cornerstone of protecting senior heart health.
So that healthy glass of juice is essentially acting like a soda in our bodies.
Worse in some ways because it comes with a halo of health that deceives us. You drink it with a clear conscience, while inside it is causing a massive insulin spike and fueling the fires of inflammation in the delicate lining of your blood vessels. The solution is a return to wisdom. Eat the fruit whole. Receive the gift as it was created, with the fiber that protects you.
Doctor, after hearing all of this, it becomes clear that the real danger isn't one particular fruit. It's something much deeper.
It is. The greatest danger of all is not the single banana you might eat. It is the belief that you don't need to adapt. It is ignoring the whispers from your own body, the fatigue, the palpitations, the dizziness, and dismissing them as just getting older. But I am here to tell you that aging is not about breaking down. It is a divine invitation to grow wiser. It is a call to listen to your body with a new level of reverence before it is forced to scream. Let today be a turning point. It is not about living in fear. It is about living in loving awareness.
That is such a powerful mindset shift. It's not about fear. It's about wisdom and stewardship.
Exactly. The real journey here is not about fearing food. It is about embracing a new kind of wisdom, a proactive and loving approach to stewarding your senior heart health for all the blessed years to come. It's about eating with purpose and with a deep love and respect for the heart that has served you so faithfully.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for guiding us with such honesty and profound care. To everyone who walked with us today, we thank you. The lesson is not to fear God's bounty, but to partner with our bodies wisely in this beautiful season of life. The key takeaways are so important. Be wise about the hidden risks of seemingly healthy fruits, from the potassium in overripe bananas to the concentrated sugar in fruit juice. Listen to your body and nourish it with intention. Now, as we close, we invite you to share with our community. Please take a moment to reflect and share in the comments one thing you have learned today that you plan to apply to your own life. Your commitment can be the light that inspires another. If this message has touched your heart, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps this work of protection and care reach more people. Please subscribe so you never miss these vital conversations. And if you love someone over 60, please share this video with them. It is a true act of love. Thank you for your time and your trust in us.
Your heart is a precious gift. Steward it well. God bless you.
Until next time, please take care.